She brought her 3 children to one beach in Port Antonio and tried to drown them.
When you say dopey, I fling the towel off of them.
I was saying, boy, we should really hang up some cameras here and do a daily soap opera.
Trust me, we nearly.
I have to start polish 6 hours a day? No way.
So Sabina kind of hold him and shake him, man. And walk through the entire town half naked.
Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mel, and you know, as usual, it's another story time day, so mommy is going to take over and, you know, grace us with one of her other stories. So yeah.
Disclaimer. The stories that I'm going to tell in this series are my experience, my truth, and my point of view over the past 38 years that I have been in Jamaica. And it's in no way intended to slander any person, the culture of Jamaica, or the island as a whole. Yeah, hi Mel's lovelies, back again. This time I decided to tell some more or less random stories about some people and situations we met and had in the marina. So I would like to start with 2 German girls that came into the marina. Each of them had a child. They were friends. One was Sarah, the other named Ulla. And Ulla had a son, Sarah had a daughter. And they came in the marina and we met up and started to talk. And Sarah's daughter was in Mayumi's age. So those 2 hit it up right away. And the good part about it was that through them being there, Mayumi was forced to speak German because they couldn't speak English at that time. And so, and they again learned English through Mayumi, through the boys, through the whole circumstances, of course. Mm-hmm. So all of them benefited of it, and they were spending lots of time together and playing together every day. And I especially remember one part of it. We did have a video recorder on the houseboat. And my daughter's favorite video was Roger Rabbit. Now, Roger Rabbit was put on that video recorder on a daily basis, and basically right through the day too. And now when Helena came, the daughter of Sarah, the 2 of them just were glued to the TV at times and watching Roger Rabbit. So both of them knew it by heart. Mm-hmm. And now I was coming on the boat sometime while I was watching that and cracking up, because what they did, they played the movie while it was playing. You know, like what the girl named, the pretty lady that is singing and dancing.
The red hairy one?
Yeah. Oh, well, Mayumi was intrigued with her. So whenever she had this thing where she started to sing and dance and move and stuff, Mayumi was right in front of this TV and doing the same thing. And then Helena started that too. And that was one of their favorite pastimes if we didn't go to the beach or do some other stuff. Mm-hmm. The reason why I mentioned those 2 ladies as well is because they stayed for quite a while. And Sarah actually eventually fell in love with our then chef, who again was the son of my secretary. And that love story ended with a marriage, and he went over back to Germany with her, and they had a son together, and they lived quite a few years together. I don't know, I don't think they're together still now, but that was a very happy outcoming for her. And she's I mean, coming to Jamaica, she was not looking for anybody, but it just happened. So that was Sarah's story, and unfortunately after they left, our contact broke up until about 2-3 years ago, when I started to look up some people and through the media, you know, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, you know, and actually I found her back because she had a pretty unusual last name. So I found her back, and we got briefly back into contact, saying hi and everything is okay and so on. So that was nice. Now Ulla, the other girl, ended up staying in Jamaica more than Sarah, and actually she had 2 more children. First a girl, then another boy, and from Jamaican men. But she kind of had a hard time to find some way of surviving and stuff. So at one point in time, I actually ended up to house her for a while on the houseboat with her 2 children. And it got very tight there because, I mean, our family was big already at the time.
2 or 3? Didn't she have a son?
No, Anton, the oldest son, was in Germany. He stayed in Germany afterwards. He was with his grandmother. So she only had the 2 children then. So one thing that really disappointed me though, and after all these years that we knew each other and kind of were in contact with each other, at that point in time when you needed to call abroad, the telephone company gave you a so-called ICAS number, which was like a, I don't know, 12-15 digit number. Each person who had a phone would get their own, and if you before you could call abroad, you would have to put in that ICAS number. Without that, nobody could make any foreign calls, because it was very known at the time that people would abuse and then suddenly say, oh, I don't know where, how come that these calls were made and stuff like that. So Ulla came into a situation where she needed to call home to Berlin, because I think it was because of her son or something, and I gave her my ICAS number and said, please, you can use it once and then discard it. No, right? I mean, I trust you here, try and give me back my trust. As it turned out, she did not discard the number. She used it several times. So my next telephone bill was sky high. I did not have the money to even pay it. I exactly knew where those calls were coming from, because of course I could see the numbers as well. And so I went to her and I said, what is this? I asked you, I gave you one call, and I asked you distinctly to please discard the number and do not use it again. So give me my money now. It was like about $300 or something, you know. Of course she didn't have any money. And I was sitting on that bill and had to pay it. Like really, I had to scrape together that money, because we were never in a state at that time to have a lot of money. So that was basically my contact with her, and seeing after all I had done for her, housing her and stuff like that, it was really disappointing. But I mean, over the years, even about what now? 10 years back, we even met again, and we kind of exchanged some memories and stuff. She lives in America by now, since many years, but still, I mean, that was one more of those stories where you try to help somebody and kind of get licked for it. And then another story would be of 2 of our captains that were there on very small boats. They had 21 feet sailboats, each of them. One was called Captain Chrissy, and now if you imagine a piratey captain, that would be him, you know, like full beard, then his hair a little bit longer, like stoutly built, him cap on all the time, you know, and just wearing a t-shirt and a jeans or shorts, and that's it, you know, and like having this voice as well, you know. So he was hanging out at our marina for the longest time, for months upon months. He always could pay his docket. He always was able to do what he was supposed to do. I think he even got pension by that time already. And the other captain was Brian, who was hanging out there as well, basically. Although he did one smuggling trip one time, but that was way in the beginning, and then he came back just to hang out. And those two became good friends, of course, and were hanging out the whole time. And I mean, you can believe, like, you're in a little marina and you have these two little boats docked right beside the restaurant part and have these two characters on them. So, I mean, it really created a atmosphere, a nice atmosphere on the marina part, you know, and people love to come in and start chat with them and talk to them. But the one thing with Captain Chrissy though, him love him young girls, you know. So he will have him girls every minute, him have a next one on the boat, you know. And
when you say, sorry guys, when you say young,
well, not underage, okay, but I mean young, you know. I mean, if you think he
like
was in his 50s, going up 60s, and yeah, and they were in their 20s. No, no, not underage. Okay. I wouldn't allow that. Yeah. So, but it looked like him never take no precautions, you know, and eventually he ended up to turn yellow. Yeah, his eyes started to turn yellow, then his skin get more and more yellow, and we were like, oh. Captain, have to go to the doctor, you know, because that is no good. So it turned out he caught like hepatitis B, which we all know can come from unprotected sex. And well, then he had to keep him little Ras quiet for a while, and it took him a few weeks to get back to normal. And after that, he was well more cautious, to say the least. So, but I mean, these were the kinds of happenings we had sometimes in the marina, because everybody was there. A lot of the sailors used to deal with the ladies of the street, which a lot of them would not change. Like, for example, they meet one of them and they like her, and throughout the stay,
yeah,
they would stay with that girl. Yeah. And kind of wine and dine her and give her a little money, and would go out with them and like really basically girlfriend stuff. So that is why these ladies love to come into the marina as well, because they knew if they found somebody there, that would probably last for a little while.
It was more of a steady.
Exactly.
Steady
it was not. They didn't have to be on the road daily. Yeah. Much better for them. So we had that a lot, because we had quite a few single sailors coming, or just boats with men on them. So that place was really very lively a lot of times, you know, because they used to party on the restaurant part and then have fun. And so our life there was kind of lively, to say the least. We had a lot of parties going on, and already at that time I was saying, boy, we should really hang up some cameras here and do a daily soap opera. Because the amount of little situations, which I cannot even tell you right now, that happen on a daily basis. If we could have caught them on camera, you know, it would have been really interesting. Already at that time, more so now probably, because some really interesting characters came through. I remember one guy came with his sailboat from the Cayman Islands. Now this guy, just figure, yeah, even a Jack Sparrow or one of these pirate movies. Exact. I mean exact. This guy was like brown skin, had this wavy black hair, little further down. He did not have a beard though, but the way he was dressing as well, the way he was talking, the way he was moving. I mean, when I saw him first, I said, damn, which movie did he come from? I mean, exact, you know, and he stayed there for a few days and then sailed out again. Or we had this other boat coming in where these people had a raccoon on board, a tame raccoon. You know, and of course in Jamaica, no dog, no cat, no bird, no raccoon, no nothing could come on land. That is strictly prohibited. You come in, any animal that come in has a quarantine time of 6 months. So of course if you come there for a week, so it just simply meant they had to stay on board.
So why wasn't
Strictly.
it allowed?
Jamaica has because Jamaica doesn't have rabies. Jamaica doesn't have a lot of sicknesses that can be brought in by animals, and they have kept up this law forever. And that is why rabies is something, once you get it on the spot, you will never get rid of it, and we do not have rabies at all.
Okay.
And that is one of the reasons why they're extremely firm with that. And now this little raccoon, he was so cute. Oh my god, he was. So I asked for permission to go on board because I wanted to see this little thing. And he was, I mean, he was adorable. And he was really a very well educated as well, because the owners told him you cannot come off the ship, and they did still tie him to a degree. But he wouldn't even attempt to follow them. He knew they would come back. He knew he can't come off because other harbors have the same regulations. And he was like just sitting there and washing his hands and eating something and going all overboard. And oh God, I fell in love with this thing. That was another situation again. So we had, and another boat came in, one beautiful, I mean beautiful, dark blue. I don't know how long it was, in the 50s, 50 feet something. If you ever looked at that boat, I mean, it was like, you could eat off the planks. You could, I'm seriously. It was a company ship, and this company ship was basically sailing around the world. They had a firm crew on it. They had the captain, they had a mate, and they had a lady on it that would do the cooking and the cleaning and the housekeeping basically. So they would be on board all the time. Then they would get a call. In 2 weeks you have to be in Belize, in such and such harbor. And then when they came to us, that was just a station, because they came, I think, from Dom Rep and had to go to Caymans or something, and they just stopped because we still had a little time. Stopped at our marina then, and then I got a tour of that ship. And boy, I mean, talking about, I cannot even explain it. This thing was done with so much money. I mean, everything with the wood that was used in it was strictly like teak wood and highly glossy. So they invited me one evening to have dinner with them. So we sat around and they told me a bit about their lives, you know, and honestly, I didn't want to change with them. I didn't want to be in their place, because to keep that ship as it was, in that shape, constant work, constant. I mean, that lady, they were in the marina about 3-4 days. All me see her do is clean, polish here, polish there, polish again. I mean, 6 hours per day she was polishing. Then she would do the shopping and do the cooking, and then they would all eat, and she would start polish again, because while you were sitting you had to polish again, you know. And I looked at that, and I'm not really the cleaning woman. I like my place clean, yes, but if I have to start polish 6 hours a day, no way. Which reminds me of another big yacht, which is actually owned by a Jamaican businessman. And when I met the captain, they had their crew on it as well, and they were in the marina for about a month or something. And then the captain invited me to have a look. And same thing, I mean, you would come into the living area, white carpets. They had sofas and stools by the bar, covered with silk, hand painted silk. I mean, of course, over the white carpet, when no guests were there and the owner wasn't there, they would put plastic over it to keep it. But I said, even at that time, I said, even if the owner come for 2 days, they spend a weekend, they go around and then they go swim and come in wet. Because, hey, you're on a boat, right? You're not in a house. And how on earth are they keeping up that standard? Then the captain brought us into the engine room. You know, engines are not normally
clean.
Those huge engines. I mean, seriously, there's one of them, and they had 3 of them. These things, they were silver. There was not a speck on them. I mean, nothing. They looked as if they had never ever been used. As if they just put them in there yesterday, and it was. I was like studying. I said, but were they ever used? They say, of course they're in since 4 years already, and we are doing, we are sailing around. And I was like, whoa, how you managed to do that? Because again, this whole ship was impeccably clean, including the machine room. So I mean, for everybody who wants to have a nice boat like that or ship like that, you better be aware you need a crew that is willing to clean from morning to evening, because actually that is what that crew was doing too. Rainfall, everybody come out, polish the rails. Every time rainfall, even in the morning, they come, oh, night dew. We have to clear, to dry off everything again.
That's annoying.
It is. I mean, I looked at them and said, boy, I mean, as nice as it might be to be on this huge thing here and being able to travel around, but that part, no way.
So, 1 second, back to the blue pretty boat. What kind of company was it?
I don't remember which company, because actually it turned out we had quite a few coming, boat like that coming. So a bigger company would have those ships to accommodate like business partners.
Oh, so it's like
customers.
It's like at the airport private jets. It's like a
exactly. It was a private yacht for the company, but they would use it for business associates if they had a good deal somewhere. I mean, more than once we had a ship in there with some heavy duty millionaires on it, which most of them turned out to be very nice people, actually. I mean, it was very interesting for us to meet. Then one day a ship came in and Yoko Ono was on that one. If for the younger ones, John Lennon's wife from the Beatles. And then, there was one boxer too that came. Yeah, well, who knows Yoko Ono nowadays? I don't know
her either.
We had quite a few of celebrities coming in there too. One time we have a German TV series which is called Traumschiff, which means a dream ship. It's a long-lasting series in Germany, and they had a part of the series filmed in Port Antonio. So we got the entire crew coming to our marina and in the restaurant, and they were happy with us and they were happy with what we served. And so in the end, because we got to talk with some people, of course, as well again, and I mentioned that I like wine. And then at the last day, one of them came and brought 2 bottles of wine for me, you know, that they had brought over, especially for the filming. They said, whoa, thank you. You know, I was happy about that. So you can imagine the kind of life we had there. But we had some crazy situations as well. I remember one of those ladies of the night who was involved with one of our sailors. Well, it looked like she imagined more into that relationship as it really was intended by the guy, and then she kind of figured, oh, he's going to take me to, I don't even know where he did come from at the time. And one evening she found out that the situation would not be of such. Now, I had warned the guy from before, because that specific lady there was known to be not completely of her right mind, because before that, what she had done already is she had 3 children. She brought her 3 children to one beach in Port Antonio and tried to drown them. And she was caught in time, of course, and they took away her children, which was not really good for her state of mind after all. But anyhow, she kind of continued living and then dealing with this kind of business. And when he came in with her one evening, I went to him and said, sorry, I don't want to interfere. And normally I do not interfere, but in this case I would like to warn you, be careful. Do whatever you want to do, but be careful. And I kind of explained a few things to him. Well, he was still intrigued with her and stayed with her and so on. So then that evening came now, where he confessed that he would not take her with him. She completely lost it. I mean, she started to rant and rave and shout and curse and attack him, and finally get hold of a bottle and want to attack him, and she got him. Actually, she didn't get him too bad. And then finally, because she was very swift too, we finally grabbed her and held her back. And we had to bring this guy to the hospital, and he needed a few stitches here. I mean, luckily she didn't catch him here, she caught him here. So it was more or less okay. We brought him to the hospital, and she was set out, of course. And then we waited for him to decide if he wanted to press charges against her. But he decided not to. But as of that point in time, of course, she could never set another foot into the marina, because obviously it was too dangerous. Well, I told you already the story about this guy trying to burn down the marina. And then another story turned up, which, to be honest, I do not remember much of it, only a few bits and pieces. But my 2 sons have a very vivid memory of it. And so I kind of engaged them to tell you that story. So that would be coming after this year now. And they will tell you that story. And up to now, I wish I could remember that guy's face. I have a slight memory in the back of my head here, but I cannot get the story together. So they will tell you that one. And that would be it for today. Now, it's not a long time we have today, but therefore next time, we announced that already.
Yes, next time. So next week, guys, is your girl's birthday. Next week, Saturday. And I know you guys have been waiting on my birth story.
Yay! And time-wise now it fits. So
what we decided to do is, instead of posting my birth story on the Thursday, like on, you know, our regular schedule, we would postpone it to the Saturday, so post it on my actual birthday, so it has, you know, a bit more meaning and stuff. And yeah, on our last live I mentioned it to you guys already, and you guys agreed and were completely fine with that, so that's what we're going to do. So the next story time after this is going to be my birth story, and it will be on my actual birthday. And you know, just a bunch of niceness. So if you guys, you know, as a birthday present to me, just make sure you guys push that video hard, like, you know, just share it. Make sure all the ads that run you watch them for me, guys. So, you know, that would be an amazing birthday gift to me from you guys. I would really appreciate it. So yeah, I will insert the clips from my brothers right now, so they will tell their stories, but after that the video will end. So that will be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As usual, we will see you in our next video, which is, remember, Saturday the 13th of November. Can't tell you the date already. So yeah, bye guys. Bye. So hey guys, we are here with my brother Yasha, and as seen in the clip before, mommy mentioned that, you know, there was a story that she can't really recall, like she doesn't know the details of it, but my brothers Yasha and Nikki know of it. So Yasha is going to tell his side of this story, and then, you know, Nikki will follow with his recollection. So, Yasha, take over. Tell me about the story that mommy say she can't remember, but Una can't remember.
Well, it was like a German, I don't know, I'm not sure if he was a tourist. I think he was a tourist, but he was staying in Jamaica for a little while. So, it started one day. We went to the beach. I think it was Frenchman's Cove. And, you know, it was a nice day, nice sunny day. We were there. We see him start behaving weird, like sitting one side by himself, not talking, not doing, like, practically just sitting there, being absent.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to him and asked him what's going on and stuff, and he's like, oh, he has a headache, he doesn't feel well. So, you know, we thought it was just too much sun exposure, like, you know, heat, like, you know, the heat come over him or something. So anyway, we decided to leave the beach, and we're ready to go back down to Port Antonio, to the marina. So anyway, my brother was there, I was there, a couple other Germans were there, he was there. So he was carrying my towel. I'm not sure if he was carrying my brother's towel, but he also had a towel. So went on the bus. So we reached down to Port Antonio now, and come off the bus, and I see him without the towel. So I'm like, hey, so what happened to my towel? And what's up with your towel and stuff? And he was kind of funny, like he didn't want to answer. Don't ask me nothing. I'm like, but come on, I want my towel. And then he actually said, and he said it in German, he was like, ich habe Geister gesehen und hab ein Handtuch auf die geschmissen. Which means more or less that he saw ghosts, so he said dopey, and fling the towel off of them out of the window of the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Like really crazy. So we're like, something is wrong with this guy. But whatever. Let's just, you know, whatever. Let's go to the marina. So I walked through the town, go to the marina. I guess they were there for a little bit. Then it got later and later, and some of the guy just got crazier and crazier until, like, I don't know, it was probably like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. It got pretty dark already. So the guy kind of just, he was on the houseboat, and he just started saying rechts, 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 which means right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the direction,
mm-hmm.
the right side.
Mm-hmm.
And wanting to come out of the houseboat, but he could only go right. So he was like, oh, saying right, and do a right turn, right, do a right turn. You know, he wanted to go left, he had to do like a full circle and say right, 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 you know, and go around the table, right, right,
mm-hmm.
right, you know, instead of just turning left and going through the door.
Yeah.
You know, it was like he went around the table doing that, then around another chair, because he had to go left again, so he did right again,
mm-hmm.
and then he went outside. When he was outside, it was a left turn, so he had to go right, right, right until he, you know, it's like he got completely crazy in his head. So we tell Sabine and stuff, and she see what was going on. So Sabina kind of hold him and shake him and like, hey, what's going on with you? And, you know, it was like really crazy. I don't even know what happened after that immediately. Next thing I hear, this guy went on the top of the marina because we had an upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he took off his clothes up there, just in a brief alone, and jump off into the water,
What the hell?
went to land, and walk through the entire town half naked. So we have to run out there and get this man out there, bring him back to the marina. I think Sabina ended up taking him into the shower to wash him off. I don't know. I guess somebody got him a t-shirt, or they got his clothes and put the t-shirt on him and put on back the clothes on him. And he was just sitting there. Like they put him on a chair to sit down, and Sabina just was like, bang, back, give my back. Get back here, wake up, bang, wake up. What's going on with you? Shake it. The guy, he was just completely gone. I think we ended up getting him in the houseboat and then go sleep. So I remember next day he was still kind of crazy, but it wasn't as bad anymore. You know, you could talk to him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that day he ended up going back home to his house. We saw him the following day. He was even better, like he was almost normal again.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I mean, a backstory to this guy is also, which, I mean, they say that he was with a married lady, got her pregnant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which was actually his friend, was another German guy. So secretly got her pregnant, but didn't want to be with her because the woman wanted to leave the other guy and then end up being with him.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess he denied that he didn't want to do that and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he came back like about a week later and stuff, and came down and came to all of us, and he was like, you know what I found in my house? You know what I found in my closet? I found a t-shirt. It had 3 knots in it. 3 knots tied in it. And it had a funny smell, and it was oily and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So all we could think is, why somebody run some science from this money or something, you know, up there did not go ahead. Because I mean, it was just for that time where he was mad, and then finding something like that in your closet, his t-shirt, you know, nobody knew how it got there in that form that it was.
Yeah.
It was really crazy. So, and I mean, everybody could kind of guess who might have wanted to do that, because could only be that lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It was a kind of a crazy story, though, because I mean, first of all, the man saying "si dopey" and thing, we totally laugh at the man, laugh at the dopey.
Like what I gonna do?
I don't know. I guess when you see things, you don't know what you do. But it was crazy. I mean, I saw him like 2-3 years after that. He came back to Jamaica, because shortly after that, I guess he left. I guess he got tired of Jamaica, going through that experience. And I mean, he was like normal again. Okay. But really, for like 2 days, he was like completely out of it. The 3rd day, he was almost normal again. I guess a week later, he found that.
Oh.
Some
yeah, so basically him breed in friend wife, and she didn't want, you know, left
there
with him. Left her husband film, and him said no, and then she maybe
maybe. Don't know. Maybe, because who knows, you know?
Maybe, obviously.
But anyway, are the husband end up get the baby? It's his baby officially. I don't think he even knows anything about it. Yeah. Everybody white too. So it would really show, I guess.
You can't really tell unless you do one DNA test.
So it's crazy though, yeah. Some crazy things happen down in that marina.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for your take on that story.
No problem.
Alrighty.
Everybody, good night.
Bye.
Bye.
People, it's more. Okay, we have a story, or mommy, this is part of mommy's story, but my side of the story basically, or what I remember of that story. Okay, there was this guy from Germany. I don't even know his name right now or whatever, but I guess he came visiting Jamaica. Probably a friend of the family at that time, because or probably knew him from the marina because he come down there, who knows. But we end up actually going to the beach with him one day. I don't know if it was the entire family, but I don't know who was there. But on our way back home now, we were driving in a minibus, and he had a towel, and he eventually threw the towel outside. And so we asked him, why you throw the towel? And he said, he see one ghost. So he threw the towel after the ghost. So it's like, kind of weird. So we just take it as that first. Then we reached back to the marina basically. It was getting dark now and stuff. So, and his behavior started change more and more. So he's getting more like him frightened, and he get hysterical and stuff like that. So what I recall now is like, so mommy come up to him and like, what's wrong? Stuff like that. Slap him 2 times in the face. Clap, clap. Bad woman style, you know. Pop, come out of your hysterical like he's did, and shake up and get mad or whatever. She eventually put him under a shower tub, like to cool him off and stuff. And he was just behaving hysterical. Actually, my grandmother was there as well. So my grandmother stand up in front of him and is like, okay, breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. And he did do it too, but then he just and jump out again, and trust me, scary situation. I don't know, probably them say maybe obia, maybe season split, who knows, maybe who knows, some bad weed, anything possible. But what I remember this one, something, so mommy tell me, say, alright, with the Marina, and he lean up against the bamboo wall, and the mommy say, just watch him a little bit. So I did watch him, you know. So as me say, it get dark now and everything too. Mommy, they must say out on the land and talk and stuff. I guess to figure out what them to do with him, if he came to hospital, who knows what. But him did stand up against the wall. I mean, they lean upside down, and I look on him, so you know, because I'm small and free, you know, so I look up on him. And out of the blue, see, even the dark right now, you know, trust me nearly dead. Me had reaching in my mouth, me I tell you, man, me nearly dead. The man does jump out of nowhere and fight and about, something bite me. I'm like, yeah, bite me, just, I don't even remember what happened after that. We probably got me back because he knew we were frightened. So I don't even know. But yeah, the man was kind of freaking out. I don't know. As I said, probably seasons play, probably in tech work, who knows? Probably, as I said, obia, who knows? I guess more story or feeling to this from Sabina's side, probably from my brother's side. I have no idea, but trust me, I know me had a beat. Oh, me had a beat fast right now. Just remembering it. Yeah, and what you remember, say, when he eventually come to Germany, because me they asked back mommy if he hear from him, and she did just tell me, say, at that time, he must be okay, but he must jump through window one night time and stuff, so who knows. Maybe he's still cuckoo. I have no idea, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. See me had a sweat now, right? That's a thing about it. Cut that off now.
Alright, this is his side of the story, guys. So, yeah, thank you.
Man get obia.